The 13 Articles of Faith are one of the quickest, easiest ways for you to become acquainted with the basics of Latter-day Saint beliefs. These Articles of Faith were written by Joseph Smith in response to a newspaper reporter who wanted to know some of our beliefs. Now today I'm covering the second Article of Faith, and in this we are going to discuss things about original sin and about agency and personal responsibility that are so important to our Latter-day Saint worldview. I think they're empowering and incredibly beautiful. Let's go ahead and read the second Article of Faith. It goes as follows. We believe that men will be punished for their own sins and not for Adam's transgression. Okay, that's just one simple sentence. Let's break it down. We believe that men will be punished for their own sins. That means that what we do as human beings is what we are liable for to God. That is what He's going to be judging us on, is our actual behaviors. And not, the second part, is not for Adam's transgression. So that denies the idea of original sin. Some believe that as Adam sinned by taking the fruit, that then immediately we were all stained with this sin. Some believe that this was unfortunate and it was not the will of God. And so we've been in the middle of this awful, tragic story that God's just trying to make up for in some way. That is not the case. As Latter-day Saints, we believe that when Adam partook of the fruit, it was an inspired choice through his wife Eve, who could see the complexity of the situation that they were in, that God actually willed for this to happen. They were put in a paradoxical situation and made a brave choice to bring humanity to this earth so that we can have this experience and gain all of this growth that we're receiving. And in doing so, Adam made a choice for himself that he can navigate with God and Jesus Christ for himself. He can repent and gain forgiveness. And that each one of us are innocent. We are born innocent. We believe that children are not immediately stained by sin. That is why we don't believe in infant baptism, among other reasons. A child is born innocent, and as they gradually grow and gain the ability to think and reason and feel the Spirit and make choices, then they gradually increase in their accountability before the Lord. That is why we believe 8 years old is the youngest that a person should be baptized. And as a therapist, I'm very familiar with psychological stages of development, and age 8 is about when you start getting these concrete forms of understanding where a child actually can make more informed choices. And of course, it's gradual from there. As we gain more understanding, we gain more accountability before the Lord. I love this doctrine that teaches that each of us is accountable for God, to God, for our own behaviors. These are beautiful truths that help support a free society, that each person is accountable for their own actions, that each of us is an agent of growth and of improvement and of accountability before the Lord. It highlights the importance of us taking responsibility for ourselves. We cannot blame someone else for making a choice that made us a certain way. Even as a therapist, when I have clients come see me and clearly choices of their parents have affected them poorly, it's causing them trauma and pain. The truth is always the same, and that is that you may not have caused the circumstances in which you are born, but how you navigate it is up to your integrity. And you may not have brought all these problems on your shoulders, but it is up to you to solve them. Each of us is an agent in our own life to solve the problems, the pain, the heartaches, and to work our way through the sins that we find ourselves in the middle of. I believe that's empowering and comforting to know that it is up to me to make the choices to navigate the best life possible. I love this Article of Faith. This idea that Adam and Eve were brave and intelligent, and that they stand accountable before the Lord for what they have done in transgressing. And that we also, as brave and intelligent as we are, we still get put in situations we're not entirely sure how to navigate, and yet we are accountable for our work as we go through that. We don't blame our parents. We don't blame Adam and Eve. We don't blame anybody. We are still responsible for taking upon ourselves the challenges of our life. I hope you've enjoyed this, and please feel free to put in your comments any thoughts or reflection you have that's kind-hearted, that can open up positive discussion. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.